There's no argument. Lucio Fulci was one of Italy's best horror directors of the early 80s. Sure, Dario Argento may be the face of Italian horror cinema, but in 1981, Lucio Fulci was king of it all. He released 3 horror films in 1981 alone: The Black Cat, House by the Cemetery, and The Beyond. That is mind-blowing, and he was on fire making these films in the late 70s and early 80s. During this brief time period, Fulci was unequaled and could do no wrong. You would think with directing and releasing 3 films in 1981 that the quality of the films would be pretty bad. But these 3 films are often regarded as some of Fulci's best work. Since I've already reviewed The Black Cat, tonight we're taking a look at House by the Cemetery. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. The plot to House by the Cemetery is a bit all over the place and a little bit inconsistent. So, during the review, I'm going to try to trim the fat, so to say, and just talk about the essentials. Just a side note before getting into it, if you watch this film on your own, odds are you might be scratching your head through some of it. Let's get into it. The film revolves around a family, Lucy, Norman, and their son, Bob. They're moving from New York to a small New England town because their father researches old houses. The old house that they move into belonged to Dr. Freudstein, who died 150 years ago. It's a quaint place, but the basement is locked shut. The old house, of course, as the title suggests, is by a cemetery. The family ends up hiring Anne, the babysitter. Anne is a strange woman who the film would suggest is a bit creepy and secretive. Anne is often watching over Bob. There's also this weird eye connection thing that Anne and the father have, and that doesn't really go anywhere. Strange things begin to happen in the house, like the mother finding a grave within the dining room. Norman suggests that in the winter, the ground would be too hard to bury a dead loved one outside. So, in the past, they would often bury the dead inside during the winter. We also see people getting murdered in the house. We begin to realize that there may be someone, or something, already living in the house, and the film ends with an explosive final act. It's fairly basic and not a ton happens throughout the film, but you still might be struggling to follow along. Fulci is a master at creating atmosphere, but sometimes fails at telling a story. If you understand that and are comfortable that his movies value creating a mood and feeling over logic, then you're all set. The film's strong points are the set pieces, but on the reverse side of that, all the string attaching those set pieces together is pretty flimsy. I want to take a few moments and talk about some of the elements that really stand out to me, whether it be for better or for worse. First up is Bob, and for anyone who's seen this film in English, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I guess she had something to do.
Let's just say you never saw her in the first place, right?
Yes, I did. I saw her face. She was waving and I could read her mouth.
What an annoying kid. Fun fact though, Ben over at the Cadaver Club secretly loves Bob. He talks to me all the time about how good of an actor he thinks Bob is and how much he enjoys watching him act and especially listening to him. I don't know why Ben loves Bob so much, but I tend to disagree. All kidding aside, the actor doesn't actually seem half bad, but the voice actor, the dubbed over lines, are terrible. Speaking of voice acting, sound design suffers. It's normal for Italian films to be dubbed over. Italian directors of this era had the actors speak their native language and would often dub it over in post. That's all fine and dandy, but it seems more off than normal.
Everything's the way Dr. Peterson left it. Those are his notes. I didn't dare move any of his material.
The voice actors are pretty terrible, and there never seems to be an effort to line up the mouth flaps. Voices are quiet, too. Sound mixing could have been so much better. I constantly kept turning up and down my volume as the movie went on. The dubbing was so bad that I actually had to turn the audio track to the Italian track and put on English subtitles. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but at least it wasn't jarringly bad. The Italian dubbed voices are so much better, and I wish I would have done this at the beginning of the film. I highly recommend watching this film in Italian with the English subtitles. Sure, you'll get to miss out on Bob, but you'll get to miss out on Bob. And sometimes the sound design is just confusing and overly cumbersome. Take this scene of the dad tucking in. I didn't buy that it was coming from downstairs. It was too in your face and it became disorienting. This film should be known for its zooms. There are so many zooms in people's faces. They're all over the place. Now, in modern cinema, you don't get a lot of zooming. Instead, you get those dolly shots. Can't lie though, I love the zooms in this movie. They're great. I also need to talk about the bat scene. Norman is in the basement when the bat attacks and bites him. This guy is so hardcore. He's forcing the bat to bite him. Are you telling me that the bat is stronger than him? He can't just pull it off? I find that so hard to believe. He ends up stabbing it with scissors and he flings the blood everywhere. It's a ridiculous scene. Now, I've been ragging on this film a bit, but there are a ton of positives to it. If you love blood and gore, this flick is for you. There is blood literally everywhere, and it looks fantastic. I can't praise it enough. Another great positive was when the kid was. It legitimately had me going. And then when the kid is trying to get out of the basement, but the door is locked. The dad has to get an axe to chop down the door, but the creature or man is coming up the steps for the kid. It's a tense scene. The dad tells the kid to step away from the door, but the decayed hand grabs the kid's head and presses it against the other side of the door. This was masterfully done, and it had me stewing in my own dread. I loved it. House by the Cemetery is a mess of a film. It's inconsistent and at times incoherent. It's all over the place, but the set pieces are fantastic. Scenes are great, but nothing is connected very well. But that's okay, because when it's working, but the parts in between will just make you scratch your head. Also, please switch the audio track to anything other than the English audio track. The English version is really hard to watch.
Let me out of here! I'm scared!
This is a great film, and I highly recommend it to any gorehound or thrill seeker. If you're into strong stories or narratives though, you could probably give this one a pass. And that's all I have for tonight. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care everyone.